But yeah, you're gonna have brothers from all walks of life, and you have to maintain. You have to maintain the scriptures. You have to really, discipline and chasten yourself doing that. Discipline and chastening yourself doing that. Because, like I said, different men come from different worlds. We come from different cosmos. Like I said, John 3:16. All men in the world of Israel. That world encompasses a lot of different lifestyles. Different men have different portions of the spirit, different paths that they're on. Different people. So if you're a Native American, Black, or Latino, you're an Israelite. You need to wake up to your nationality. But let me get into the scriptures. I don't want to talk too much. I'm talking too much. This is Matthew 5, and seeing the multitudes, he went up unto a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. And that's what happened to the apostles. That's prophecy. The apostles were beaten when they went to some places. They straight up got beat up, thrown in prison, stoned, some cases crucified, beheaded, all of that. And they all kept the faith, except for Judas. Because like the scriptures say, none in my hand have left save for Judas. So if you're really a man of the Lord, you're not going to lead the truth. How y'all doing? Y'all Israelites, man. Oh, time to wake up, baby. But if you're really about it, if you're really a man of the Lord, you're going to stick to the path no matter what happens. Because, as the scriptures talk about, when you first find this book and you find the answers as sweet as honey unto you. Now I'm starting to see what they meant. It's bitter. It's that bitterness. The path is very bitter sometimes. But then, sometimes the Lord will throw you a bone in that bitterness. So it's definitely a challenging thing. Continue along. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you, which they always have. They've always persecuted the prophets. But why? If they're false, why not just let them teach? You're the salt of the earth, but if the salt hath lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? Is it thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men? That's right. We are the salt. Israel is the salt of the earth. Israel is the salt of the earth. We are the salt. That's one of the reasons we know who we are according to the scriptures. Israel is the salt of the earth. You got a lot of people talking about, the Lord wasn't black. His skin was olive or whatever. He was Middle Eastern. Okay, he was Middle Eastern. What part of the Middle East was he from? He's from Judah. So he was from Jerusalem, excuse me. He had to have a tone of color. then they'll have a picture of white Jesus up. They'll never tell you, well, look, we know he's not white. That's a false image. They'll never say that. They'll just say, well, he couldn't have been black. How you doing? You know Jesus is black, right? Okay, all right. Scripture say, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. That's right. So it's no hiding. You're not supposed to hide. You're supposed to come out and teach the faith. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and to give it light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make your good works glorified. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. So he didn't come to destroy the law. He came to fulfill it. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He came to fulfill the law. But verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. That's right. So that's what we're commanded to do. He didn't come to destroy the law. He didn't come to change the law. He came to fulfill the law. And that's another thing that these people go. These people go off of every aspect of the Bible. You think you know, you don't know. You people don't know it, man. You Edomites don't know it. It's not in you to know, man. You guys don't know it. You guys, these people are lost. Lost. Yeah. Lost. She looked. I wasn't talking to her. She's lost. Why? Because the basis of men is in rulership over the earth right now. The basis of men. The Edomites, man, if you get that book, the 13th tribe, they used to eat out of their relatives' skulls. They used to use their bones for tools and shit like that, just sick shit. They used to have lice in their beards, pick it out and eat it. These people are fucking disgusting. They used to, these people don't shit. People take a shit, don't wipe their ass. And they used to, man, they used to ejaculate all in their clothing. They wear the clothing until it wore out and fell off. Then they would get some new clothing. But these are the same people, they'll tell you, you're a nigga, you're nothing. They'll tell you, you know, they run the world, which they do run the world, and you do have some niggas out here, but when you just, hey, it's interesting, man. These white people, these Edomites, they'll tell you about Roman and Greek culture. They'll tell you everything about that and everything about the rulership and the power. And when you start to go back into that, and Petra and Basra and the Khazarian Empire and the different things they were doing as cavemen in the clefts of the rocks, you know, how they were fucking animals and all kind of sick shit, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to show that image. They don't want to talk about that one. But if you go up the street here, you'll see all kind of little, you know, Jewish star, 6-point stars, you know, all that shit. Everything's marked. And then you got the damn Scientology place up here too. So, hey, this place gotta go. That's wickedness. They got temples set up for wickedness here. But if I stand out in the street and I preach out the Bible, I'm an asshole for that. But you got all kind of pedophiles, all kind of transsexuals, all kind of sick ass faggot shit going on. But if I come out here and if I talk about it, I'm rude. I'm going against the order of society. Nah, man, that's not right. Here it is, you Edomites. You'll sit here, you'll cause a housing market crisis for millions and millions of people in the country. And then when you research that shit, nobody went to jail for it. Nobody. Nobody? Nobody. Nobody went to jail for that shit. Because what? Cui bono. That's what they do. They rig the game, and then once you play long enough and you understand it, then they tell you, oh well, you shouldn't have played then, but you have to. So hey, the system is rigged for us to lose. Y'all agree with that? Sort of? Yeah. The system is rigged for us to lose. The sooner you know that, then you'll see why the scriptures talk about, look, we have no cares of the affairs of this world. We don't care. We don't give a fuck. Whatever happens, it'll happen. Whatever. Once you get in, if you don't believe me, because I'm nobody. I'm just a regular, regular Israelite. But go ask some of the brothers who are in high positions. Go ask the apostles. Go ask the elders who have been around these Edomites. Go ask them. They'll tell you, look, this shit is all bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. The foundation of it is wicked.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That's why out in the streets, I can sit here and proclaim that because I'm from the tribe of Judah, as far as my knowledge goes, I can sit here and say I'm a real Jew, and you people are not the real Jew, and they won't challenge that. They won't challenge it. They won't go into their history or see, look, it says here in the Torah. They can't do that. They won't justify any of their history, any of their business decisions. They won't talk about how the Jews, so-called, funded the slave trade. They won't talk about that. They won't go into that history because it's not important for the fabric of society. Hey, how y'all doing? Because they don't want you to know about that shit. They want you to see, the glamour and lights, the bullshit. And even that is wickedness. All these artists, so-called, they got fucking, you see them on TV and you think there's somebody, they got a damn 360 deal. So they're really not getting anything out of that. But except, a headline, a little bit of fame. And then when they get old, they get washed up, or they don't want to obey anymore, like Kanye West, then boom, now you're out of the game. Until we find you useful again. Sorry, guys.
That shook me. Okay. Today I'm
If you look at these Edomites, man, they love the winter time. They love that shit. They love to do wickedness on this earth. But you're Israelite, right, man? They love that sort of thing. Once again, Jake, man, you don't want to wake up. You don't want to listen. Because even them, they'll tell you, well, yeah, you guys are the true Israelites. Shouldn't that mean anything? Shouldn't that mean something if the number one rapper, now the number one rapper, he'll tell you, look, I'm doing Molly, I'm doing coke, I'm doing whatever drug or whatever drink of choice. People will actually go, and I've done this before, you'll kind of get into that for drinks, not illegal shit, but you kind of try to drink. Okay, I heard this in a rap song, Hennessy or whatever the fuck. You'll say, okay, this shit is alright, this shit is okay. But then, they'll tell you, I'm with the Israelites. I'm with this. Nobody wants to research it. Nobody wants to go into it. Showing that what? It's only given to certain men. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding is given to certain men. You get into that.
What you saying? What you saying?
This is Wisdom of Solomon 7:7. Wherefore I prayed, this is Solomon of course, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I prefer her before scepters and thrones, and esteem riches, nothing in comparison of her. Nothing in comparison of her. Salaki, neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never goeth out. You know, as a young man, you don't really understand what that means. You're like, what? Because you've never had gold, you know what I'm saying? You never had some of these things, so you don't get it. You know, it sounds good. It's a good proverb. Okay, yeah, I want to be wise. But when the scriptures talk about the more wisdom that's given to you, the more basically the more saddened you become, because you begin to know the inside details on different things that go on. And it's like, damn, you asked for wisdom and now you got what you got for it. But then it's a balanced thing too. The scriptures talk about be not overwise in anything you do. So wisdom is everything. All good things together came to me with her, and a lot of these stones are worth what? Millions. Hundreds of 10 million, 50 million for a stone, for a single stone. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. That's real talk, man. Wisdom is the mother of all those things. Wisdom is numero uno. And the number one part of wisdom, what? Your wisdom and knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Shah through the Holy Scriptures. And then going into that, who am I according to the Holy Scriptures? If you're into something like this, you're most likely an Israelite. This is Song of Solomon 1 and 2. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. That's right, that's talking about the Most High giving Solomon wisdom. It's not talking about a literal kiss. Okay, the men of the Bible are not homosexual. But it's a certain poetry and a certain art of how they delivered the words to give you that meaning. Because this is... scriptures were inspired by the Most High. These men were given divine interpretation and understanding of the Bible, and that's what's written right here. Because you've had, the Bible highlights many great prophets. You've had a lot of more prophets too that were not necessarily in here. They were also inspired by Yahweh Shah. But this is the most important part, of course.
Like right on the door.
let's get into some prophecy. This is Joel 3. Of course, you already know what this is about. Oh no, matter of fact. And that's another fucking thing about this kingdom, man. It's always some fucking noise. You can never just hear yourself think for a couple of moments. But anyway, this is Joel 2 and 27, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. You got a lot of young men who see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. And you're seeing that now. You're seeing blood being spilled. You're seeing these different shootings and massacres take place. Blood is being spilled. These different cops shooting people down. Blood is being spilled. And fire and pillars of smoke. That's right. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. Now look, what did we just have in the sky? We just had a blood. It was a red moon. It was what's called a blood cold moon or something like that. The word escapes me what it really was, but it was a red moon. That's what it means. It was turned to blood. That just happened. That's prophecy. That's you gotta mark that for something. That's telling you, look, this is what's about to happen. Moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Oh, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. You know, we know that's the Gulf Coast. And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And that's what happened in this country. Shalom, shalom. They cast lots on our people. How you doing, bro? How the brother doing? Good. Come on, said shalom. They have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine, will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. And that's what happened in this nation. America sold slaves. They dealt in slaves. Now they want to try to kind of put that off as not being the truth. But that's the truth. How did we get here? Slavery. We were sold here. And we never received anything for that. Is that first justice? Is that judgment? Is that the judgment of God? No, it's not. That's evil. And it has to be something to happen for that, man. And sooner or later, you have to pay for that. Because you people, you put your hands on the people of God, now you're going to get what's coming to you. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things. And that's what they did. They stole all our stuff. Lost the page. They stole everything from us. They stole all our stuff from the temple. They stole everything, man. They stole the candlesticks. They stole the gold. They stole everything, man. All the nice, good things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Yeah, so that's what happened in America, man. They sold us here. We built this place. Now they don't want to give us shit. But shit. They can give us shit about it, though. And they can come on and talk about the dreamers built this country. No, the dreamers did not build this fucking country. Don't try to reverberate some shit that Ben Carson said and then try to make that shit law. It's not, man. Fuck that. The dreamers did not build America. Okay? So-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos built America, and you other motherfuckers just came and capitalized off of it. All according to plan. All according to plan, man. Fucking built this country. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And that's what's going to happen, man. The place where the Israelites going to be sold, the recompense is going to come back on the people who sold them. So who is that? And when did that ever happen to the so-called Jews? No, that's talking about us. The recompense for selling us here is going to come back upon them. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of Jerusalem, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, that's right. That's what's going to prepare, but yeah, that's like I said, proclaim this to the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. And that's what's going on, man. North Korea, Russia, everybody wants a piece of America because they know America's full of shit. That's why you got a lot of Chinese people coming over to America. They come, they reap a few rewards, and they go home with that money. Or they set up business here, they make some money, because they know here in America, they can make a little more money. Things are, well, it's not regulated in China either, but they know